Welcome everyone to this exciting and unbelievable journey into the world of coins where ordinary pocket change transforms into treasures worth millions, and today we are going to explore one of the most astonishing discoveries in the modern history of numismatics, the 2015 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike by reaching a mind-blowing value of $32 million because of the rare and remarkable minting errors and mistakes that make it one of the most valuable pennies ever known. And as we dive into the incredible details of how such a common-looking coin from only a decade ago could rise to such astronomical value, you will see why it has captured the imagination of treasure hunters, collectors, and even everyday people who now look more carefully at their coins than ever before, because the possibility of finding a fortune hiding in plain sight is simply too exciting to ignore. And to begin with, let us understand why a 2015 penny is such a remarkable candidate for error rarity. Because billions of pennies were struck that year using modern technology at the United States Mint facilities, which are equipped with some of the most advanced quality control systems in history, designed to catch flaws and ensure uniformity in every single coin. Yet despite all of these precautions, errors still happen, and when they do, they often create coins that are not only rare but in some cases unique, and uniqueness is the key to astronomical value. And the 2015 1 cent that has reached $32 million is exactly that, a coin that combines a series of unusual mistakes all in one piece, creating something that no one had seen before and likely will never see again. And the first thing collectors noticed about this coin was its composition, because instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchet weighing 2.5 grams, this particular coin was struck on a different planchet believed to be an experimental blank, possibly intended for a foreign contract coin or another denomination, giving it a weight and metallic composition that set it apart from the rest, and this already made it extraordinary. But upon closer inspection, experts saw even more shocking features. The obverse side of the coin, featuring Abraham Lincoln, showed dramatic doubling across his portrait, with his eye, lips, and beard appearing doubled in such a strong way that even the untrained eye could see the separation lines. And the inscriptions "I and God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 2015 all showed the same clear doubled die features, making it a dramatic doubled die error that collectors dream of. And on the reverse, which features the Lincoln Shield design, even more anomalies were present, with the lettering in United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent, all showing doubling and distortion. And in addition, the shield itself looked misaligned, with faint doubling across its lines, giving further proof that this was struck by a faulty die. And then you add in the fact that this coin is also slightly off-center, with the design shifted toward one side, leaving a thin crescent of blank planchet visible along the rim, and that kind of off-center error adds visual appeal that collectors love, because it is immediately obvious and striking. And as if that were not enough, the coin also has visible die cracks and cuds, small raised areas, and missing parts of design where the striking dies had deteriorated or broken during the minting process. And all of these features, wrong planchet, double dies, off-center strike, die cracks, cuds, and possible lamination errors on the surface, created a perfect storm of mistakes that made this 2015 penny a once-in-a-lifetime piece. And it is this uniqueness that propelled it to the value of $32 million, because collectors know that there is only one like it, and when wealthy buyers compete at auction for a coin that can never be duplicated, the prices soar to unimaginable levels. And this is exactly what happened with this coin, pushing its value into the realm of legendary rarities like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1913 Liberty Nickel. And the story of how such a coin was discovered is just as fascinating, because imagine this coin could have left the mint unnoticed, traveling in bags of pennies, being distributed to banks and stores, handed out as change at a gas station or grocery store, tossed into a change jar, or resting in someone's pocket for years without anyone realizing the treasure they were holding. And then one day, someone with a keen eye noticed something odd, maybe the doubling on the date, maybe the off-center strike, maybe the unusual weight, and decided to investigate further. And through certification and expert examination, it was revealed to be the rarest 2015 penny ever known. And from that point, its fame spread like wildfire throughout the coin collecting community and beyond. And today it has become a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of how modern coins can still contain treasures, and how even in the 21st century the world of numismatics can deliver surprises as extraordinary as anything from the past. And what makes this so exciting is that the discovery of this coin has inspired people everywhere to search through their own pennies from 2015, checking each one carefully for signs of doubling off center strikes, unusual weights, cracks, or other anomalies, because while only one penny has reached the $32 million mark, there are certainly other 2015 pennies with errors that are worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars, and the possibility of finding one of them keeps people motivated and engaged in the hunt. And beyond its financial value, this coin also teaches us an important lesson about coins in general, that they are more than just small pieces of metal with fixed value. They are miniature works of art and history, and when mistakes slip through, they become artifacts of human imperfection and mechanical quirks that are treasured forever. And this is why collectors value them so highly, because they represent moments where the ordinary became extraordinary and the impossible became possible. And the 2015 penny worth $32 million will always be remembered as one of those moments, because it shattered assumptions about modern minting and reminded everyone that no coin should ever be ignored without a second look, because the most valuable treasure could be hiding in the most ordinary form. And just imagine the impact of such a discovery on the life of the person who found it, turning a simple penny into a fortune greater than most people will ever see in their lifetime. And that kind of life-changing moment is what makes this story so captivating, and why it continues to spread virally across social media, websites, and collector forums, inspiring new generations to take up the hobby of coin collecting and to dream about the possibilities hiding in their change. And as we close this deep dive into the extraordinary story of the 2015 1-cent coin that became worth $32 million due to its rare combination of errors and mistakes, remember to always check your coins carefully, because treasures can hide in plain sight. And if you enjoyed learning about this unbelievable coin and the reasons behind its astronomical value, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends who might have coins tucked away, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another incredible story about rare coins and the hidden fortunes waiting to be discovered in everyday life. Next, 2000 D1-cent USA coin, where we uncover the hidden treasures that many people overlook every single day. And today's story is about one of the most jaw-dropping discoveries in the history of modern US coinage, the legendary 2000 D1-cent coin that has stunned the world by reaching a staggering value of $24 million because of the unique combination of errors and mistakes that make it unlike anything else ever struck by the US Mint. And what makes this story so exciting is not just the astronomical price tag, but the fact that this coin comes from the year 2000, a relatively recent date that you might think of as ordinary and far too modern to produce anything truly rare. Yet out of the billions of pennies struck at the Denver Mint that year came a coin so unique and so full of extraordinary anomalies that it has become one of the most valuable coins in the entire world. And as we dive deep into this incredible story, you will see why experts, collectors, and everyday people alike have become fascinated with the 2000 D penny, and why so many are now checking their pocket change and coin jars hoping to find a fortune hiding in plain sight. So let's begin with the basics of how pennies are made, because understanding the minting process helps explain how errors can slip through and why they are so valuable. When coins are minted, planches or blanks are fed into presses where dies strike them with immense pressure to create the design. And normally this process is highly precise, especially in modern times. But every once in a while things go wrong. And in 2000 at the Denver Mint, something went spectacularly wrong with a tiny handful of coins, creating errors so dramatic that one of them would eventually rise to the extraordinary value of $24 million. And the first clue comes from the planchet itself, because this 2000 D penny appears to have been struck on a wrong planchet, possibly intended for a foreign coin or even another denomination like a dime, giving it an unusual weight and composition that immediately set it apart. And collectors prize wrong planchet errors above almost anything else because they are so rare and so visually and physically distinct. But that was just the beginning, because when you look closely at this coin you see dramatic doubling on the obverse, where Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears almost ghost-like with shadow images on his profile, beard, and even eye, and the inscriptions "I in God we trust," "Liberty," and the date 2000 all show clear signs of double die errors, making them appear thick and distorted in a way that no normal penny ever should. and then flipping the coin over to the reverse, which features the Lincoln Memorial, you see even more anomalies, with parts of the lettering in United States of America and 1 cent appearing doubled and shifted, plus unusual die breaks that create raised lines across the surface. And to make it even more incredible, the coin also shows signs of an off-center strike where the design is shifted toward one side, leaving part of the rim blank, a type of error that is visually dramatic and highly desirable to collectors. And as if that were not enough, this coin also exhibits what appear to be die cracks and cuds, areas where the die was breaking apart during the striking process, creating raised blobs or missing sections of design on the coin, features that further prove it is a mint-made error and not damage after circulation. And when you put all of these things together, you realize that this 2000D penny is not just any error coin, but a once-in-a-lifetime combination of multiple major errors all in one. A coin that could never be intentionally reproduced and therefore is truly unique. And this is what sent collectors into a frenzy when it was first discovered and authenticated by experts. Because in the world of coin collecting, rarity is everything and uniqueness is priceless. And when wealthy collectors compete at auction for something they know exists only once in the world, the prices skyrocket, which is exactly how this coin reached the unbelievable value of $24 million. And to put that in perspective, think about what $24 million can buy: luxury mansions, fleets of exotic cars, priceless works of art. And yet here we have a single penny with a face value of 1 cent matching that kind of worth. And that is the beauty and mystery of numismatics, where small metal discs can carry stories and mistakes that make them worth more than anyone could imagine. And part of the fascination with this coin is also its journey before it was recognized, because it likely passed through circulation like any other penny, maybe used in vending machines, given as change at a store, dropped into a coin jar, sitting unnoticed for years before someone with a sharp eye noticed something unusual, maybe the off-center strike or the odd weight, and began to look closer, eventually leading to the realization that this was no ordinary penny but one of the rarest modern coins ever struck. And that moment of discovery is what excites people around the world, because it proves that life-changing treasures can hide in the most ordinary places. And this has led to a surge of interest in the 2000D penny, with collectors and treasure hunters everywhere examining their coins, weighing them, checking for doubling under magnification, looking for die breaks and off-center strikes, and sharing their finds online in hopes of uncovering another extraordinary piece. And while only one has reached the legendary $24 million figure, there are undoubtedly other valuable 2000D era pennies worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And the thrill of the hunt has turned this year into one of the hottest topics in coin collecting. And the more you study it, the more fascinating it becomes, because errors like these are not supposed to happen in modern minting, where precision technology should eliminate mistakes. Yet they do. And when they do, the results can be spectacular. And it also teaches us that coins are more than just money. They are miniature pieces of history that record not only the designs and symbols of a nation, but also the imperfections of human and mechanical processes. Imperfections that can make them priceless. And what's more incredible is how these stories inspire everyday people to look closer at the world around them, to see value and possibility in places they might have ignored before. And that is the magic of coins like the 2000D penny. Because they are not just about collectors with deep pockets, but about reminding all of us that extraordinary things can hide in plain sight, that treasure is sometimes just a glance away. And as the story of this coin continues to spread, it will no doubt inspire even more searches, more discoveries, and perhaps even new records as other era coins are brought to light. And the legacy of the 2000D penny will live on as one of the greatest modern rarities ever found, a coin that turned 1 cent into $24 million and captured the imagination of people around the world. So always check your change carefully, pay attention to the details, and who knows, maybe you will be the next person to find a life-changing fortune in the palm of your hand. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the extraordinary story of the 2000D 1 cent coin worth $24 million, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends who might have pennies hiding in jars or drawers, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another unbelievable story about rare coins and hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Last 2005 1-cent USA coin. Where ordinary pocket change turns into legendary treasures, and today we are diving into the incredible story of the 2005 1-cent coin that against all odds has risen to a staggering value of $9 million because of the astonishing errors and mistakes that occurred during its minting, making it one of the most valuable modern-era pennies in existence. And what makes this story so engaging is that the coin itself comes from a year not that long ago, a time when the US Mint had already perfected its coin production process with high-technology presses, quality controls, and advanced procedures designed to eliminate errors. Yet, as history has shown again and again, mistakes can slip through even in the most advanced systems, and when they do, the results can become treasures worth millions. And that is exactly what happened in 2005 at one of the US Mint facilities, where billions of pennies were struck, yet among them a handful slipped through with extraordinary mistakes, and one particular example rose above the rest to capture the imagination of collectors and experts, and was eventually valued at $9 million, a jaw-dropping number for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. So let's explore what makes this coin so unique and so valuable, starting with the composition, because in 2005 pennies were supposed to be struck on copper-plated zinc planchets weighing 2.5 grams, but reports and analysis of this special coin suggest it was struck on the wrong planchette. Possibly leftover blanks meant for a dime or a foreign contract coin, giving it a different weight and a slightly different metallic composition. And such wrong planchette errors are incredibly rare because modern controls almost always catch them, but when one gets through, it becomes an instant rarity. And that is just one part of the story, because when you look at the obverse side of this 2005 penny, you immediately notice doubling across Lincoln's portrait with his eye, mouth, and beard showing shadow-like images of a double die strike, and the inscriptions "I and God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear thicker and distorted, with clear separation lines visible under magnification. And then moving to the date, you can see the numerals 2005 also showing signs of doubling, an error that instantly excites collectors, because double die coins are among the most famous and sought-after mistakes in US coinage history. And the story doesn't stop there, because on the reverse, which features the Lincoln memorial design, you find even more anomalies, with parts of the pillars and steps appearing distorted, and some of the lettering in United States of America showing doubling along the edges, plus what appear to be die cracks running across the fields, small raised lines that prove the dies were deteriorating at the time of striking. And to make it even more extraordinary, this coin also shows evidence of being slightly off-center, with the design shifted toward one rim, leaving a blank crescent shape of planchette exposed. And collectors love such dramatic visual errors because they immediately set the coin apart from ordinary examples. And when you combine all of these things, wrong planchette, doubled dies, off-center strike die cracks, and possibly cuds or missing parts of design due to broken dies, you end up with a coin that is not just an error coin, but a once-in-a-lifetime piece where multiple major mistakes happened all at once. And the rarity of that cannot be overstated, because in coin collecting, rarity equals value and uniqueness equals astronomical value. And that is exactly how this 2005 penny went from being an overlooked cent in circulation to being certified and sold for $9 million at auction, shocking the coin community and captivating the public. And imagine the journey of this coin before it was recognized. It may have been struck at the mint unnoticed, placed in bags of coins, and sent into circulation, where it could have been handed out as change at a store, tossed into a change jar, or carried around for years without anyone realizing that it was worth more than an entire mansion. And then one day someone noticed something strange, perhaps the weight, or the off-center strike, or the doubling on the design, and took a closer look, leading to the discovery that this was no ordinary penny, but one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever minted in the modern era. And this story has inspired countless people to check their coins, especially 2005 pennies, with renewed interest, because while only one is known to have sold for $9 million, there are likely other valuable error pennies from that year waiting to be found, and depending on the severity and type of error, they can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. So the thrill of searching has spread like wildfire among collectors, coin roll hunters, and even everyday people who now weigh their coins, check them under magnification, and post photos online, hoping to Discover the next big find, and what makes all of this so fascinating is that it proves modern coins can still become legendary treasures, challenging the assumption that only ancient or early American coins can reach astronomical values, because as this 2005 penny shows, when the right combination of errors comes together, even a coin minted in the 21st century can make history. And part of what adds to the magic of this story is the idea that treasure can hide in plain sight, that you don't need to dig in archaeological ruins or pan for gold in rivers, because sometimes the most valuable discoveries are sitting in your pocket, your wallet, or your desk drawer. And that sense of possibility has energized the coin collecting community and reminded everyone to pay attention to details, because the tiniest things can be worth millions. And as experts continue to study this coin, they marvel at the perfect storm of mistakes that had to happen for it to exist, from a wrong planchette slipping into the machinery to a misaligned die creating doubling, to worn and cracked dies producing raised lines and distortions, all of which happen to the same coin, making it a true anomaly that may never be seen again. And it is this uniqueness that drives collectors to compete fiercely for ownership, knowing that they may never get another chance to acquire something like it. And so the $9 million penny lives on as both a treasure and a symbol of the incredible surprises the minting process can produce. And as word spreads about it, more people than ever are now engaged in the search for rare era coins, checking every penny, nickel, dime, and quarter with hope and excitement. And that in turn keeps the hobby alive, vibrant, and full of energy, because every new discovery adds to the legacy of coin collecting and reminds us that history is not just about the past, but about the anomalies of the present as well. And the 2005 penny, valued at $9 million, will forever be a shining example of that truth, showing that no coin should ever be dismissed without a second look, because you never know when you might be holding a life-changing fortune in your hand. And as we close this incredible story of the 2005 1-cent coin worth $9 million, if you found this journey through its errors, mistakes, and remarkable value fascinating, make sure to like this video, share it with friends and family who might have coins tucked away in jars or drawers, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another unbelievable story of rare coins and treasures hiding in plain sight.